Hello everyone, I am Erika of the Storytelling Jeweler and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my Friday broadcast, making sure that even if we are one more time again in lockdown, then no one has to bead alone. And there are beaders watching from all over the world, usually. And I would love to hear today that where are you watching from? Where are you located? And please tell me in a comment if you can hear me, if you can see me. Maria is here, and Honey, and Sarah, and Esther. Szia, Esther. Mektab. Merhaba, Mektab. Lutka. Ahoy, Lutka. So, this is one more time, again, a special edition of our No One Has to Bead Alone video workshop, since it is not only broadcasted on my own Facebook page, but also in the Seed Beads and Facebook group with 16,000. Isn't it crazy? So, we have, Anita is here with us, or admin in the Seed Beads and More group. Tanya, Kata is watching from Stockholm, Sweden. Then Esther is watching from Budapest, Hungary. Anne is watching from the UK. Judith is here also. Deb is here from Michigan. Eleanor from Sweden. By the way, those of you who are watching from the Seed Beads and More group, then you maybe want to enable me to see your names, because as you see, if you don't fix it, then I see you only as Facebook user. And if you agree that I can see your name, then you can click on the link that I just posted and then follow the instructions, and that's it. Oh, and yeah, Facebook user, but it's Betty from Ohio. Yeah, and Maria from Sweden also, and Joanna from the States. Mektab is watching from the UK. Shirley, hello, also from the States. Tanya from Belgium. Teresa from the States. Lynn too, hello Lynn. Lori is watching from the Toronto area. We have someone here from Almere. That's very close to me. I can actually bike there. I sometimes bike there. Annelien is here, and Malka. And Lucka is here from Bratislava. I used to live there for 10 years. Mary Ellen from the States. Cheryl from Arizona. Nancy from British Columbia. Martina from Costa Rica. I envy the good weather that you probably have. Hello, Corinne. Someone is watching from India, one of my favorite countries in the world, that shaped me as a person and gave me tons of inspiration into my beadwork. For example, the Chandra Devi necklace that I am wearing today. And Katie is watching from Chicago. And Beverly is here, and Zdenka. Zdenka is watching from Ireland, but we actually know each other from Bratislava, from Slovakia. Magnus is also watching from Chicago. So, someone says that she has an issue with the sound, but since others have it all right, then I have to say that it's probably something on your side, that please check if your sound settings are all right. So, welcome, ladies. There is already like 87 of us, and we are going to bead today the Hedviga pendant. So, during this special month in October, we are learning together. We are exploring what can we do with right angle weave, cubic right angle weave, and prismatic right angle weave. And this is a project-based learning method. I really like to do it this way because then those of you who for whom this is the first time that you meet with these stitches, then you can build up your skills step by step, really like taking it slowly, day by day, step by step. But those of you who are already very familiar with these stitches, since this is finished jewelry, these are not just finger exercises, then still beading every one of these, it's like it results in something nice. And for example, Hedviga, okay, I made it as a pendant, but you can actually, I think it would be really, really cool if you joined several pieces into a necklace, like 3 or 5, maybe in combination with some other beads. You can, of course, use it as earrings. You can hang something at the bottom or not, if you like it to keep simple. You can, I always say, you can attach it to a filigree component and you can have it as a brooch or even like as a centerpiece of a bracelet. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I love to bead motifs, because then the possibilities are just endless. And we also have Zuzi here, and please say big thank you to Zuzi. Zuzi is a very good friend of mine, and she is always trying to help me with like last minute check of the tutorial when I am doing a broadcast. And sometimes I'm writing to her like 15 minutes before 5, like, Zuzi, do you have a moment to check it? So I would like to say big thank you and send big hugs to Zuzi for her patience and for her help week by week. And Cheryl is here. And goedemiddag from Belgium. So, ladies, this is the 4th time that beading together. We will have one more time in the Seed Beads and More group together. But if you enjoy this kind of get-togethers and you would like to continue afterward, then what you can do is that please follow the link that I will be posting and give a big like to my Facebook page, and then you will be kept updated at what's happening. And we are doing the same kind of live classes week by week already since March. And even when the special month in the Seed Beads and More group finishes, then you will be able to join me every week for a beading lesson like this. And it's really, really, really fun. So thank you so much for being here. And before we would start beading, I would like to mention a couple of things. So most importantly, I actually have another weekly broadcast, Coffee Time with Erika. And you might have seen it if you watched the interview I had with our admin, Anita. So every week there is like a kind of a talk show, and sometimes I have special guests, sometimes I show a stitch, a technique, sometimes we talk about a specific topic like how to use cup chains in your jewelry. Or for example, I showed some time ago, like how do I store my finished jewelry? How do I store my beads? Or I showed some interesting items that I bought during my travels around the world and which inspire me to create. So it's an interesting one. And next week on Tuesday, again, I will have a special guest. It's someone who, despite all the difficulties that she managed to build up a very successful beaded jewelry brand. She is selling finished jewelry, and she's working together with designers. She sells her jewelry in a boutique, and she will tell you all. She will answer your questions. How did she do it? And you can pick her brain. And so next Tuesday she's coming to talk to us. And yeah, let's start beading, right? We're waiting for it. I see that Sarah is already beading the pendant, of course. Tanya is already beading. And I don't want to stay behind. So before we would start, let's do a quick material check. If we have everything, I hope I have everything. And yeah, we can do it together. So I am using 0.12 millimeter FIRELINE or 4LB. This is my go-to beading thread. My favorite is the black satin version. I'm using still up some of my smoke black, but I prefer the black satin because it doesn't leave marks on your hand. Then I am using a tulip beading needle. I will work with a 14 millimeter RIVOLI CABOCHON in the middle. Then I need 3 millimeter and 4 millimeter fire polished beads. I need 3 millimeter round pearls. I use 𝐂𝐋 round pearls. If you are using a different brand than me, if you use Swarovski or if you use Chinese glass, or it can even happen that you use 𝐂𝐋 glass pearls with a different coating or with a different from a different manufacturer, then there might be a difference, but hopefully not a big one. So I really hope that everything will turn out fine. And then we will also use number 15 and size 15 and size 11 MIYUKI seed beads. I used 3 different colors for the number 15s. It's up to you how much you want to like play with the colors or not. You can keep it simple, you can go more complicated, it's up to you. You will also need some MIYUKI DELICA beads. I used 2 colors in the original version, but it's completely up to you if you want to use one color, 2 colors. And I think I have everything. Do you have everything? Those of you who haven't started early yet, do you have your beads prepared? Please tell me if you are ready to start beading. By the way, there is a printable file accompanying today's beading lesson, and you can download it at the moment from 2 different places. You can either find it in the Seed Beads and More group, or actually you can download it also from my page. I just posted the link if you can't find the Seed Beads and More, can't find the printable file in the Seed Beads and More group, or if you are not a member yet in the Seed Beads and More group. So yeah, I see a lot of you like already beading. So I hope everyone is prepared, and I shall also join you and finally start. So my beading mat today, and let's find the first picture. So I hope that you are very, very comfortable by now with right angle weave. So I will not explain all the basics because we have done many projects with right angle weave during the past 3 weeks. So what you need to do, you need to bead 8 units of right angle weave squares connected to each other, while the floor beads of the units will be 4 millimeter fire polished beads, and the side beads and the ceiling beads of the units will be 3 millimeter fire polished beads. Please remember that you always need to retrace this red path to make the units sturdier. And please keep in mind that you don't need to add 2 walls between 2 units. The 2 walls, the one wall between 2 units, it will belong to both, let's say, rooms that are touching each other. So I see only like already beading. So I will do my best now to catch up. I built my first right angle weave unit. I always like to leave about like 10 centimeters of a tail that I will later weave in. And please, ladies, I will do my best to keep an eye on the comments. So please feel free to ask questions. I'm just adjusting my second camera. Feel free to ask questions and I will do my best to answer everything. Cheryl, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Cheryl actually waited for me. That's so nice. I really appreciate it. So now I am building my second unit. By the way, I'm very, very curious. Is there someone between you who beaded all the projects that we did so far? I know that Tanya, for example, she beaded, I think, most of them. I can't recall anything that you would have skipped, but maybe I am mistaken. But I would be really curious to know if there is anyone who beaded like totally hardcore everything. It was a lot. There are altogether 12 projects that show you the basics of right angle weave and cubic right angle weave and prismatic right angle weave. And this is number 9 or 10 already. Let's see, 10. I think it's the 10th project that we are working on together. So Sherry, hello Sherry, she says, done all but one. Wow. Which one haven't you beaded yet? Donna has several work in progress pieces. Hello, Donna. Katalin hasn't done Rella yet, but the others are actually finished. And Tanya has everything. Ladies, you are so great. Tanya, have you done already Rella too? I think that's the one that I haven't seen from you. I accidentally skipped a bead, so I had to go back. I'm building my third unit of raw. So Sherry says she hasn't done the beaded bead yet, but the rest is done. Eleanor hasn't done the Melinda bracelet yet. Yeah, I think that's the one that requires the most time. Lots of number 15s, but believe me, like it's so worth it. I miss one unit here because I didn't have enough beads. So here by the clasp in my third part, I have only 2 straps, but like it feels so good on my wrist. It's so like soft and gently curving. So I'm very, very happy with it, and I hope to see many new versions. And Tanya says, no, not Rella as earring, but it will be part of my Helena bracelet. I will use it as a clasp. But I had to stop with Helena since my bicons are not good. Posted a picture today on my page. Oh yes, indeed, I saw it that you are looking for a different color of bicons, maybe something lighter, shinier. And Sarah says she loves the Melinda bracelet. You did a really good job with it. Also, Katalin, both of you. And Tanya has a very beautiful purple one. And Virginia, hello Virginia, she says, Melinda has put me behind, but I will catch up. Finished last night beading, no clasp yet. Yeah, Melinda is a tricky one. Also, it requires some time until you figure out the exact measurements to make it look nice on your wrist. I know that Tanya was struggling with it a little bit, as like it is a bit tricky. Marianska, hello. She doesn't have the material yet, but she will do it. I'm looking forward to seeing your pieces, Marianska. Keep them showing to us. Deb hasn't done any of yet, but hopes to do this one. If you already know how to work with right angle weave, then it should be okay. I am beading my 6th right angle weave unit. And you can already see that since I am using 2 different sizes of fire polished beads, that the row of the right angle weave units, it's already curving. So it will nicely follow the curve of the cabochon. And Sabina is here, Sia. And Virginia says, I almost skipped Melinda, but Lynn encouraged me after I saw hers. That's a good inspiration to see each other's work. That's also why I absolutely love it when you show each other what you are, when we show each other what we are working on, when we share the knowledge, when we share our tricks and tips, and especially when we encourage each other to learn something new, to try something new. I have a philosophy that together we achieve a lot more than everyone on our own, everyone separate. So I think it's absolutely true for beading too. Counting units, by the way, is a big challenge while speaking. So I have to make sure that I have the right number of units. And by the way, also it's usually funny, I'm also teaching some more advanced workshops, normally in real life, but these times through Zoom, of course. And I can say that the biggest challenge is sometimes, even with very advanced beaders, to get the numbers right. For example, 26 beads. And that can be the biggest challenge of the exactly 26. And that can be the biggest challenge of the workshop. And Gisela is here. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units. So with my 9th unit, I will connect the first to the last one. So I am exiting here the side bead of my last unit. And my thread is hanging towards, let's say, to the floor, towards the 4mm fire polish bead. So I pick up a new fire polish bead, a 4mm one. I bead up through the side bead of the very first unit. And then I pick up a 3mm fire polish bead for the sealing. And then I bead one more time through the side bead, the last unit. And when I pull everything nicely together, then I see that the 8th unit is finished already. I will reinforce the thread path. I will reinforce the structure, but by repeating the thread path, of course. And then what I want to do is that I want to finish in a sealing bead, in a 3mm fire polished bead. And Cheryl says, I usually collect beads at the last minute, but today I was so early, I counted all the big beads out. That's a good strategy. If you put out only 9 beads, then you can be sure that there won't be more than 9 units that you bead. And I'm adjusting my second camera now that I changed how many pictures are on the screen. So here I am in a 3mm fire polished bead in the inside edge of my bezel. This will become the bezel, part of the bezel. Actually, there will be a layer of fire polished beads on the back side of the Rivoli and of course on the front side too. The front and the back will be identical. Both of them will look exactly like this. But then of course we are pulling the beads closer together, and also the top, we will be decorating it. So first, what I would like to do is that I will connect all the 3mm sealing beads to each other. You can go around like 1 or even 2 times if you think like, okay, I need it to make it sturdy and neat. That's up to you. By the way, I would love to use the occasion that we have Anita here also, and I know that she loves also participating in the bead-alongs herself. So Anita, how many did you bead from the projects that we were working on this month? This is the 10th project, and there are 2 more projects waiting for us next week, so we can get a little taste prismatic right angle weave too. And after I beaded through all the 3mm sealing beads on the inside edge of this like donut shape, then I will bead out. I want to finish by beading through a 4mm fire polished bead on the outside edge of my bezel. And Anita has to count, I'm curious. She has done many, I can say. So I will hide now the first and the second step, and I'm going to show the fourth one. And now this is a little bit tricky maybe, but what we are going to do, we will bead one more time the same 9 units of right angle weave. However, the 4mm beads, we don't need to add new 4mm fire polished beads, but we will connect the new units into the already existing, already attached 4mm fire polished beads. So I am exiting a 4mm fire polished bead, and then I pick up 3 pieces of 3mm fire polished beads for the 2 sides and for the ceiling, and then I bead one more time through the 4mm fire polished bead itself. So I have my first right angle weave unit. I repeat the thread path, and after I went through the 4mm fire polished, I bead up through the nearest side bead too. So Anita is actually, this is her 6th project. That's very well done, and I'm curious to see everything at the end. So now that I have my first unit from the top layer of the bezel, I'm going to bead the second one. I pick up the ceiling bead and the side bead of the next unit. Then I need to bead through the 4mm fire polished bead, actually beading backwards, and then I'm beading through the side bead of the first unit. And then I repeat the thread path, of course. I need to get in position for the third unit. So I'm beading all the way to the side unit of the second, the side bead of the second unit, and then I continue to the third fire polished bead, third 4mm fire polished bead. And you need to keep good thread tension. This is how the RIVOLI will go inside the bezel. And this second row of fire polished beads, it will, you see, like angle, it curves gently around the RIVOLI. Is it clear, this part, ladies? How do you do it? And Katie says in the meanwhile, so many beaders coming together from all around the world makes me warm and fuzzy. Indeed, it's such a nice feeling, right? And everyone working on the same pendants together, and then afterward we will see all the beautiful color combinations. That's so fun, I think. I added my third right angle weave unit. I'm repeating the thread path. So, ladies, please tell me, how is it going with your bezel? This is like a very good example how versatile right angle weave is. First you might, okay, I can make a bracelet. I can do this like one long row of units and that's it. What else can I do? However, it can be so many different ways. And bezeling cabochons, it is an absolutely perfect way to use. Hello, Mona. Use right angle weave. One of my favorite ways of using the right angle weave stitch, by the way. It's also handy to know that you can bezel with it. Also when you have, for example, semi-precious stones, it's pretty easy to catch them with right angle weave. You have to play a bit, of course, with the size of the beads you use and with the number of the units, but it doesn't take that much time as with peyote. And Tanya says, I have just added the P3 and I have used Swarovski and they fit perfectly. Thank you so much for telling us, Tanya. That's so good to know. Esther also has the RIVOLI. Lori already working on the X's. And Shirley says, this is a great bezel because I can use the Chinese rivolis. They have a thicker edge, so they don't always work with all the bezels. I'm also using a simple gloss one today. So it's not that tricky as with peyote. So for Deb, it's a little bit of a struggle, but she couldn't do the previous projects. Deb, please don't give up, and please feel free to ask questions, like also after the broadcast, if you need some more information about the first projects, but I really recommend to go like step by step. Because if you haven't done many right angle weave projects before this, then it can be hard indeed. But you can be very proud of yourself already that you gave it a go, and I hope that you will succeed. I will do my best when you have questions. And Lutska says, my RIVOLI is in the cage and cannot escape anymore. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I imagine an evil laugh at the end of what you wrote. And Deb, indeed, it's so good to have you. So I'm nearly at the end of my second row of fire polished beads, 3mm fire polished beads. I am adding the 8th unit. Okay, I think I will adjust my camera one more time because it's getting a little bit not so sharp. I don't like it. I want you to see what I am doing. So I did the 8th unit, and then I bead all the way to the last 4mm fire polished bead, which is going to be the last floor bead out of the 9. I put in my RIVOLI, and I need to add only one new bead this time, because the first side bead of my very first unit will be the side bead of this unit too. Then I need to pick up the sealing bead. I bead through the second side bead of my last unit. And that's it. I already have all 4 beads, and then I repeat my thread path. And I want to finish in a 3 millimeter. This is how you add the last one. I want to bead to a 3 millimeter fire polished bead that is closer to the center of my bezel. So this is how it looks like. And Joanna says to Dev, glad you are back. These are fun new beading stitches. And this is a nice alternative to peyote for bezeling. Exactly. And it's so easy to connect other beads then, as you will see. It has just the perfect structure that you will be able to add new beads in many, many different ways. Actually, I plan to put together an album for you with different jewels that I designed based on right angle weave bezeling techniques. So it will be coming either during the weekend or on Monday. I try to stay offline during the weekends, but then I'm back with, but let's see. Most of the times I am cheating and I sneak into my beading room and I check out what's going on in the beading world. And Cheryl says it's so shiny. And Lori also likes the raw bezels. It's very fast and very forgiving. So what I am going to do now, the first, I bead all around through the 3 millimeter fire polished beads that are on that were the sealing beads of my units. 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐊 also has it. I'm happy to hear that, 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐊. And then I will add, I pull them close together, and then I will add, let's see which color. I will add this nickel plated dark silver number 15 seed beads. Hello, Amy! Good to see you. I hope you are doing well. So I am now adding number 15 seed beads between the 3 millimeter fire polished beads that are on the inside edge of my bezel. Those were the sealing beads of my top layer of the bezel. Corinna loves it. I'm very happy, Corinna, and curious to see your colors. Ula says, finished. I am pulling out my filigrees. I'm so glad, by the way, that I got you hooked on filigree components. I'm really I'm addicted to filigrees and cup chain and beads in general and cabochons. Oh my god, I'm addicted to a lot of things. I'm so proud of myself. I don't smoke. I don't really drink alcohol. I'm in Amsterdam, but I don't visit coffee shops either. But I am addicted to a lot of things. Everyone needs to have some guilty pleasure, right? And we have, I don't see your name. Tell me who you are, please. She says, hi, Erika, miss bidding with you all, but is back to work now. Have fun. Thank you, thank you. And take care in work. And Lynn says, I love just the design without the RIVOLI. I don't have much luck with RIVOLIs. I might put in a large cup chain for the middle. And Sarah, only the bail left. Janice! Hello, Janice. Good to see you. Are you all right? Are you doing well? Oh, and Amy has also addictions, right? Coffee, big paper. Okay, mine is coffee, beads, 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 beads. And now I am hiding step number 7. And this is step number 9. I will also need some number 11 seed beads that I forgot to actually put here, but I will use some delicas in place of those. So I will switch to my second color. I pick up, I am exiting a number 15 seed bead that I just added. Then I pick up 2 number 15s. I will pick up, I will try it with the DELICA. It should be okay. So I pick up a DELICA, or you can pick up a number 11 round seed bead. Then I am beading through the next 4mm fire polished. Again, I pick up number 15s. I bead through the number 11 one more time. I pick up 2 more number 15s. And then I bead through the next number 15 that is between the fire polished beads. So I made this little cross, and this is how I need to go all around, always picking up 2 number 15s, number 11, and I can say that it works with the DELICA bead instead of a round seed, number 11, if you would like to use a DELICA for some reason. It works absolutely fine. And Mary Ellen has beads and chocolate. Chocolate too. Alžbeta has to go. Thank you so much, Alžbeta, for spending time with us. It was really nice. Cheryl joined us from CA, California. Niti is here. Hello, Niti. I hope you are all right today. I miss you so much from our bidding sessions, but I know that your life is very, 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 very busy these days. But I hope that you will be back with us soon. So how are you doing, ladies? I bet you are like finishing And I am here still with my 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐑𝐄. 𝐂𝐋 is made of seed beads. They actually really like how it comes out with the DELICA beads instead of the round seed beads. I thought like, okay, it's a mistake, I forgot, and search for them now, but I'm very happy with how it looks like with the DELICA beads. Lori is adding thread. And Anne is changing the color of the DELICA beads. That happens too. I'm actually not that happy with my color choices today, but yeah, I will not start all over again. Maybe it will, like sometimes I don't even see until the end if it works well or not. So I really hope that it will turn out well at the end with my colors. Adding seed beads. Today was such a beautiful year, by the way, here in Amsterdam. And usually during a weekday, especially if it's a Friday when I am having the broadcasts, then I am just working hard since starting with my first early morning coffee and finishing late in the evening. Usually I am just working, drawing the instructions, writing the instructions, trying to find Zuzi, like, do you have time? But today I just had to use the occasion to go out a little bit. So I actually went for a little walk and I bought a coffee in my favorite place. And then I sat down by the canal and it was very beautiful and it was such a calming experience. And Tanya says, I have had a phone call in the meantime, but pendant is finished. And oh my God, I love it. It was my favorite project when you announced. This will stay as a pendant, not with a peyote bail, I think, but as this is such a nice project to bead and also that fast, I will dive into my stash tomorrow to make a pair of earrings. Thank you so much, Erika. Thank you. I am very curious. And 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐄 says, this is really a fun project. Have never beaded in 𝐻𝐻𝐿 before. 𝐂𝐿𝐋𝐈���𝐂𝐄, make sure to show us your picture afterward. And so well done if this is your first experience. Like, you are a pro beader, so I wouldn't be worried for you. Very, very well done. In the meanwhile, I finished my little seed bead decorations. And I want to get now to this side, to the outer side, outer edge of my bezel. So I bead through the seed beads and then I beaded through a 4mm fire polished bead. And now I am adding the 3mm glass pearls between the 4mm fire polished ones. By the way, now I think I know where did I make a mistake with my colors. I don't like them how they look like. So I used transparent milky opal pink fire polish beads, but they just blended together. I usually really like them. It's one of my favorite colors. I don't use them that often, but I really like them actually, and I should use them more often. But they blend together and they don't show that nicely. Also, the RIVOLI, it's a very nice indigo lit color, but I'm not happy with how they blended into each other. But let's see at the end. And Chloe says, I think my tension has improved from last time. That's very nice to hear. And Ula says, it wants to be earrings, so I started another. I love hearing that because I think it will make like a really, really beautiful pair of earrings. But instead of the earrings, when I finish this, then I want to continue for my new filigree and colorful ultra sweet piece. So yeah, I will have only a pendant because this is screaming my name. I have to work with this. Sarah, I don't know the color number. I have it like dark milky pink. It's online on our site, thestorytellingjeweler.com. Dark milky pink. And Susie says, with tassel, of course. Oh, 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐑𝐈𝐿 thread snapped. Take a deep breath, my friend. And then continue a little bit later, maybe. And now I am adding, this is a fun part. I'm adding more 3mm fire polished beads. There are also very, very nice milky opal shades from the 4mm fire polished ones. I really love them. If you think that the opals are something speaking to you. So I am exiting a 3mm pearl, and I pick up 2 3mm fire polished beads. I bead through the pearl one more time, and then I bead through the fire polished beads one more time, both of them. I pick up 2 pieces of, I will use this blue color now, 2 pieces of DELICA beads. I will actually repeat the thread path here. So I try to pull the 3mm fire polished beads as close to the pearl as possible. Now I pick up 2 DELICA beads, I pick up 2 fire polished ones, and I bead in the opposite direction through the next 3mm pearl, and then again through the 2 newest fire polished beads. And then I repeat this thread path, this loop, to make it a bit sturdier. And I pick up 2 DELICA beads and 2 3mm fire polished beads again. By the way, one difference when I compare my new pendant to the old one is that in the old pendant, I used the same color of fire polished beads for the 3 and the 4mm ones, but now I decided that I will have a different color. I love these 4mm ones that I am working with, the glittery matte silver, and I just had to sneak them in this pendant, but I don't have them in 3mm, in the 3mm size, unfortunately. It's a Beadsmith bead. And last year I actually played a little joke. You might know Stephen Weiss of Beadsmith, and we have met in Hamburg at Beader's Best. And I really wanted to convince him to start making this color from all kinds of different shapes and all kinds of different sizes. So when he was visiting the Hamburg Bead Show, then I gave a couple of these beads to my friends, and everyone who met Stephen that day, I told them to tell him, like, by the way, Stephen, would it be possible to make this color in other shapes? Unfortunately, I don't know if my friends, I hope that they really did it, but the pressure didn't work so far, so we still don't have these in other shapes and sizes. But if you meet Stephen Weiss of the Beadsmith, then please ask him to make this color in other shapes and other sizes. It will make me very, very happy. Exactly. Kata was one of my partners in crime, and he still didn't start producing it. I am very disappointed, by the way. Stephen, if you are listening, I know actually that last week he was listening in because he wrote me after the broadcast. So, Stephen, if you are listening, make the beats, please. You will make so many people happy, so many beaders happy. Are you ladies happy with your colors, by the way? I'm actually happier now than before. I'm not entirely convinced, but it's better than I thought it will be. Let's see at the end. Oh yeah, Kata says we should start bombing him in the Battle of the Beadsmith group. Indeed, he's just posting all the beautiful pictures of the Battle of the Beadsmith. Have you checked them out, ladies, by the way? We can also start commenting like, Stephen, please make the beads that you promised to Erika. She's very sad. I am adding the last pair of my fire polished beads. And then, after pulling them close to the 3mm pearl, by repeating the thread path, and Shirley says, the battle pieces are stunning. And Joanna says, so many gorgeous pieces in the Battle of the Beadsmith. Elinor is not that happy, but will complete it and then think about it. Yeah, sometimes we need to like take a step back and then decide just a little bit later, because once something is ribbed, then it's ribbed definitely. And sometimes actually it's a shame to make a hasty decision. And now I am doing the last step, and this is a very easy and nice step to do. So I will be adding DELICA beads between two fire polished beads that are next to each other, and between the two pairs of fire polished beads I will be adding DELICA, the combination of DELICA number 15 and DELICA, and then I am beading through a fire polished. This new combination, it will be on top of the pair of DELICA beads actually. And then now I am picking up a DELICA again, beading through a fire polished, and then DELICA number 15, DELICA. And this is how I am going all around the motif. I'm still not 100% happy with it, but I think that the color of these DELICA beads on the edge, they actually kind of changed how the pendant looks like. So we are better friends now than at the beginning. Hello, honey. Honey has to go. Thank you so much for beading with us, and have a beautiful weekend, honey. Final weekend. It was good to see you. Sherry is also going. Thank you for joining us, Sherry. Have a beautiful weekend and see you next week. Don't forget about Coffee Time with Erika. If you would like to ask any kinds of questions about how to run a successful beaded jewelry business, then I will have a special guest who will answer all questions, also about her collaborations with fashion designers, for example. So it will be really, really exciting. And if someone is thinking about placing an order, by the way, at thestorytellingjeweler.com this week, then I can say that it is perfect timing, because my colleagues Yvette and Monica, they just put together some gift packs for you full of filigrees and new components. So anyone who places an order above 50 euros will get a gift bag with the new goodies. That might be good to know. Moreover, the next week, at the end of next week, I will be closing the signups for the Beader's Secret Santa that we have in the Storytelling Beading Club. So if you haven't signed up yet, then please don't forget about it. There are a couple of days left to do so. And Shirley needs to do the veil still. Show us your pendant afterward. And Cheryl says 50 euros is very easy to do with those gorgeous Alto Studio navettes. Yeah, I think so. When I finish this colorful ultra suede pendant, then that's actually the second piece that I will be working on, with one of those beautiful turquoise navette cabochons. So I have lots and lots of beading to do during the weekend. I always tend to make more plans than what is then realistic at the end. I just need to drink more, I think. And Mariella needs to, would like to hear step 13 one more time. So here, when you just bead all around on the edge of the pendant, and when you are between two fire polished beads that belong to the same pair, then you add a MIYUKI DELICA bead. And when you are at a place where you have two MIYUKI DELICA beads between the pairs of fire polished beads, then you add the combination of DELICA, number 15, DELICA. And this combination of DELICA, number 15, DELICA, it will nestle exactly on top of these two DELICA beads that we added in step number 12. And this step, it makes this number 13, this makes the whole pendant a lot sturdier, and it pulls together everything. So even if you have the feeling so far that it was maybe not as sturdy as you wished, then this number 13 step, the 13th step, will solve a lot of problems. And now that I have the DELICAs and the number 15s all around, if I am making a pendant, then what I can do is that I secure and trim my thread ends. And then if I am making a pendant, then I can just bead a peyote bail separately and then attach one of these DELICA beads at the tips. So, and Mariella, I just wanted to ask if it's here now. And okay, I'm very happy. So, and if you are making earrings, then what you need to do is that finish by going through a DELICA bead, and then just pick up a couple of number 15s, for example, and make a little loop, a little circle by beading through the DELICA bead one more time. And you can retrace the thread path to make that little loop stronger. And then you can also attach a drop or tassel or whatever, and then you can trim your thread, secure and trim your thread and attach the earring hook. And Kata says, doing the bail now, also very happy with my colors. A hint, chicken included. Chicken is my favorite color besides turquoise. If anyone is interested, which is like the chicken color, then this is it. Yeah. Say also avocado green, or we can say the chicken. And ladies, I hope you enjoyed this. My motif is finished now. Please let me know if you have any questions left for today. I am still here for a couple of minutes. I just unintentionally showed you my mess when I moved my camera from the bead mat. Yeah, also maybe there was my printer too, showing that there is a paper jam. So, oh, and Katalin, it's not chicken shit, just chicken. Okay, then your signature yellow probably. So ladies, thank you so much for today. There was about 90 of us together from the Beads and More group and from my Facebook page who were beading here together. And that is such a nice thing to witness, this creative energy coming together. And I am really, really, really looking forward to see your finished pieces or work in progress pieces. I am now returning to my boho chic team, and I will be working with this filigree and the colorful ultra sweet and the novelette and all the different metal components. So this is what my weekend will be about. I have a feeling lately that I need a bit more, I need something like positive and colorful and happy in my life. So that's why I decided that I will focus on creating boho chic jewelry, because that brings back so many happy memories and focuses on my mind on the positive side of things, and that all will be good at the end. Thank you so much, ladies. Wishing you a beautiful, peaceful, creative weekend, and see you very soon. Have a nice weekend, ladies. Thank you.